Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Mana Cave. My name is Ed.
My name's Travis.
And I've got a bit of a headache still. It's going away, but I've still got it. So last time I think I was trying to save my voice because it was hoarse from doing some streaming. This time it's just because I got a bit of a headache. So I swear I don't mean to seem low energy, but I'll be bouncing off the walls bad in this. As well, too, right off the bat, I'm just going to say this. No shout-outs in this episode because I forgot to jot anything down for that. Again, headache. I blame it on the headache. So no, I know people enjoy shout-outs, and normally I enjoy doing them, but
We could have a text shout-out. You could even voice it over after, or we can just cut out what I just said there.
That is a great idea, and we may institute that in the future. It wouldn't be that difficult to edit a shout-out in after the fact.
Where is your production assistant?
Yes, exactly, right? They're on break right now, I guess. So, yeah.
They should be doing these notes for you and everything.
They're the same.
Pre-shuffling those decks for you.
They're hanging out with the judge that we have on staff as well, too, to make sure we don't make mistakes.
Yeah.
Man, I tell you, every single video, there's at least one thing I catch in editing. At least once, sort of thing. It's just, it's not so bad with Magic.
Well, it can't be me.
No, it's usually me. It is honestly me, 90% of the time. And the last video, I think we did, not the last video that you guys saw, but the last video that I remember recording, you played a card correctly, and I talked you out of it. And you're like, I had to do this long explanation about how Travis was not at fault. He played the card perfectly. I talked him out of, but anyways.
Wasn't Dark Salvation, was it?
It was what?
Wasn't Dark Salvation, was it?
Yeah.
We'll talk about that later, because I'm curious if that card's good or not, but we'll talk about that later.
Good, because here's the thing, rereading it, Dark Salvation...
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah, the card is on screen right now, and we did talk about it before, but essentially you can create a number of zombie tokens, target player creates a number of zombie tokens, and then target creature gets minus whatever for however many creatures that target player, which meant the initial target player who created the zombies, then controls. And you played it that way, and I was like, oh, no, I think it means this. And for some reason, even though we have no problem stopping any time, because of editing, we can just edit in it. Yeah. I didn't think of actually stopping going, let me double check on that. I've double checked on so many rules in the past that you guys never see. And that one I was like, no. And it was a fairly integral part of that game where it could have been a much bigger swing. Speaking of which, I did ask folks in the comment section of our 1v1 commander if they wanted us to play the rubber game, and they do want us to play.
Okay.
Yeah, so we will be playing that the Midnight Hunt commanders, the new commander decks. We will play one more game with those in order to do sort of like the deciding game. So we played 2 in that video. Yeah. We're going to play just 1. First game went fairly quickly, and then we ended up being sort of 1-1 in it. So we'll play a deciding game in the future, not sure when. But for now, Travis, now that I've talked about everything but what we're doing, we are going to continue on with the 2019 Challenger Deck Showdown. And you are playing the Mono Red.
Mono Red?
Yes.
Which is going to do what Mono Red does, I'm guessing. By now, I'm sure you've seen the opening hand I kept. It looked decent. I've never seen this deck actually before, but I'm pretty sure I don't need to know what I'm supposed to do with it.
It's this one, unlike the 2020 ones. Or 2021s. I can't even remember now. These might be the 2020. Yeah, these might... You know what? These are the 2020. We were playing the 2021s before. This is the 2000... whatever. I'll have corrected it on screen.
This one. There's
something showed up on screen correcting myself. So I think these might be actually the 2020. So, unlike the 2021 mono red decks, this is more similar to 2018, 2019. It's almost definitely the 2021s, 2020s. So this is actually got some of the same cards as some of the previous mono red decks.
I think I saw one in my opening hand, maybe.
Yeah,
that looked familiar.
So it's quick out of the gate, and it also has card draw, which is something the 2021 mono red lacked, which is one of the few reasons why I think that one didn't end up going all the way.
That one still had some gusto, but yeah, it was lacking that refillability that mono red really needs to compete with some better decks.
And
you, sir,
in my infinite wisdom, thought, hey, what better to go against the mono red deck than a 3-color control deck or somewhat control deck, Allied Fires. So blue, red, white, which I can't remember what. Jeskai, yeah. So it's a Jeskai deck. What a better choice to go after the mono red deck. So in the previous one, we did Flash Ferocity versus Final Adventure. And spoilers, just so you guys know if you haven't watched it, the final adventure deck won.
Yeah.
And so we are going to have a battle of champions. Whoever wins this one is going to face off against the final adventure deck. Whoever loses this one is going to face off against the Flash of Ferocity in our battle of the losers, or the best of losers deck.
Best of losers.
Yeah. But for now, neither of us mulligan, correct?
No.
Okay, and will have been seeing our opening hands. These decks do have sideboards, so in between games, there's a possibility of a sideboard. If we do that, we will show you guys, but for right now, we don't sideboard because it's the beginning. We have not rolled to see who goes first.
Dun, 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 dun.
8.
Ooh. How mono red likes it.
I would love to know the statistics of it, but I think I lose the die rolls more often than not.
I think you do to the die rolls.
I think it's like, and I don't even think this is close. I think you win 75% of them.
Don't even think it's close. 51, 52 maybe, you know.
So you get to go first.
Okay.
So, Travis, kick us off.
I will kick off with the best opening play of a mountain, which I will, of course, tap for this card that I'm going to read because I've never seen it before. It's the Scorch Spitter. It is a elemental lizard. 1/1. Whenever Scorch Spitter attacks, it deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker it's attacking. It's pretty good. Decent bra.
Yeah, that's nice. I'm so not going to win this game. Okay, so, there is certain things that may help me win this game. One of which being, I'm going to play Swiss Family Cliffs. Swift Water Cliffs. Enters the battlefield tapped, and when it enters the battlefield, I gain 1 life. I can tap it for blue or red, so...
Life gain.
Winning right now. That's all I can do, so I'll pass the turn out to you.
Okay, untap. Draw. I will play another mountain. And then I'm going to tap
play
1.
2 creatures.
For the Tin Street Dodger. It is a 1/1 Goblin Rogue with haste. It can't be blocked. Oh, I can spend 1 mana and it can't be blocked this turn except by creatures with Defender.
Okay.
Then I'm going to spend 1 to cast... it's an instant, but I'll cast it now because you got no mana anyway. It is the Rimrock Knight. I'm casting the Boulder Rush side of it. So it's an instant. Target creature gets +2/+0 to the end of the turn.
Nice.
Otherwise, it becomes a 3/1. So he's going to go on his adventure. We'll say target him. So he is now a 3/1 with his 1 damage thing, and he's a 1/1 with haste. So I'm going to combat.
Yeah.
So that happens. You take 1 damage, and since I see
take
no blockers...
1 damage pre-combat damage because of the spitter. And then
it's going to be still a 4 because he gets +2 and he gets his 1 there.
Nonsense. I'm down to 16. I was at 21. I'm down to 16. Turn 2. Turn 2. That mono red life.
I actually do have the adventure token. Might as well use it.
Oh, that's right too. Yeah. I have a couple of choices.
You gain life, brah. You gain life too.
I think, man, this is so slow, but I don't think I have any choice. Yeah, I have to do this. I'm going to play a Temple of Enlightenment. So it enters the battlefield tapped, and I can tap it for white or blue, and when it enters the battlefield, I scry 1. So I will scry. Yeah, I'm going to put that back on top for now. Not for now. It's just going to go back on top. Well, eventually it's going to go off the top and into my hand, but for now. That's it. I've got 1 mana left on tap. Let me just quick double check. Nope. Pass the turn to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw. So we'll start with the land play, which is Castle Embereth.
Ooh.
It would enter tapped, but I do control a mountain, so it's not. So it's currently untapped. I can tap it for red, or I can spend 2 red and 1 of anything, tap it, and creature I control get +1/+0.
Okay.
So we're going to go to combat.
Okay.
And we're going to swing.
Okay. I'm taking 1 right off the bat.
1 right off the bat.
And then just 2?
Then just 2.
Okay, so I'm down to 13. So I went down from 16 to 15, from 15 down to 13.
Okay.
Good stuff.
All right, you know what we'll do? We'll tap these 2 to bring our Rimrock Knight off of his adventure and onto the battlefield. So he's a 3/1 Dwarf Knight.
Nice.
And I'll leave that and pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay. Alrighty. I'm going to...
Get control-y sooner than I like you to, I think.
I have choices. Some of them are good. I think, oh man, it's slow, but I think I gotta do this anyways. I'm gonna play another Swiftwater Cliffs. Ooh. So I'm gonna gain another life back, go to 14. I'm going to tap for 1 blue and 1 of whatever to bring out Fae of Wishes. It's a 1/4 fairy wizard with flying. I can pay 1 and a blue, discard 2 cards, return Fae of Wishes to its owner's hand. But it is a 1/4, which could be useful if it lives for more than a second. And we'll find out. Everything I have is tapped. Pass the turn to you.
Okay. I will then tap and draw.
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to combat.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's what I have it here for. So the 1/4 will go in front of the 3/1.
Okay.
And I'm going to hope for the best.
I'm going to tap 2 to cast, or to put the Bone Crusher Giant on an adventure.
Oh, okay.
So it's an instant. Adventure is damage can't be prevented this turn. Stomp, which is this part of it, deals 2 damage to any target. So I'll start by just hitting for 2. So we're still going to trade, but at least it's not going to be a... Because he was only 3, so he would have died.
Yeah.
So he's on adventure. There's 2 damage mark there.
Okay.
There is the attack trigger for
that. Trigger for that. Put me on 13. And then 2 damage still coming through?
2 still coming through.
Okay, so that puts me down to 11.
And some tradesies.
And then these trade. Okay.
Okay.
So I saved a little bit of damage.
Okay, I'm not going to cast that. I'll hang on to that. And I'm going to pass.
Get a pass. Tap. Draw. Okay. I'm going to play a Interplanar Beacon. So it's a land, and whenever I cast a Planeswalker spell, I gain 1 life. I can tap it for colorless, or I can pay 1, tap it to filter, to add 2 mana of different colors, spend this mana only to cast Planeswalker spells. So it's a filter land, it's also taps for colorless. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to tap all 4, and I'm going to cast an enchantment. Fires of Invention. So for 3 and a red, you can cast spells only during your turn, and you can cast no more than 2 spells each turn. You may cast spells with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of lands you control without paying their mana costs. So, as far as I know, Fires of Invention counts as my first spell. So this turn, for example, I'd only be able to cast 1 more spell. Even though I'm tapped out, though, I can cast spells with converted mana cost equal to or less than the number of lands I control without paying their mana costs. So then what I'm going to do...
Never even heard of that spell before.
...is I'm going to cast Planeswalker. Kasmina Enigmatic, I think that's the pronunciation, Mentor. So for 3 and a blue, but I have 4 lands, so I don't have to pay its mana cost. It's a 5 loyalty Planeswalker, one of the cycle of uncommon Planeswalkers that came out. And spells your opponents cast that target a creature or Planeswalker you control cost 2 more to cast. I can also -2 it to create a 2/2 blue wizard creature token, draw a card, then discard a card. So, I'm going to... Oh, and as well, too, whenever you cast a Planeswalker spell, I gain 1 life because of the beacon. So I'm going to go up to 12.
Life gain.
And I'm going to -2 her, so she's going to go down to 3 loyalty, and I'm going to create a 2/2... Surely they give me one, right? Yeah, 2/2 wizard. I draw a card, and then I discard a card.
See, you're starting to cook now.
It seems to be coming along. I will discard Omen of the Seas. Okay. So that's my second spell, and I can only cast spells, so you don't have to worry about shenanigans on your turn. So that's my second one this turn. Fires, and then the Planeswalker. I will now pass to you.
Okay. I'm going to untap and draw. Okay. So we're just gonna straight up go to combat, attacking just with him.
Okay. So now is it any target, or is it the
to 1 damage to that player or planeswalker it's attacking. So I'm gonna go to you.
To me? Okay. So I'm taking 1 right off the bat. Blocks. I will put my 2/2 wizard in front of it.
Okay.
Damage. Okay.
Damage goes
through. So now I'm down to 11.
Okay. So then, since you did take damage this turn, though, for the spectacle cost, I'm going to tap 1 to cast Light Up the Stage. exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your turn. You may play those cards.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to exile the top 2 cards. I don't have to show them, I guess, so it doesn't matter.
No. Do you have to show? I don't think you have to show them.
I don't know.
Exile the top 2 cards of your library until the end of your turn. You may play those cards. Okay, you still have to pay their mana cost, right? But yeah.
I guess I'm showing them anyway. I don't really know.
Sure.
So I have Cavalcade of Calamity. Whenever it's an enchantment, whenever a creature I control with power 1 on its attacks, that deals 1 damage to target player or planeswalker. So kind of similar to the Scorch Spitter. That's 2 mana. Go ahead and cast that. And then, so until the end of turn. So I'm still in my second main.
Yes.
So I did not hit the land off of that.
Nice, yeah.
So then I will tap that and I will cast that.
That makes sense. I was wondering if you would have any more land, but you do.
Yeah. Well, I thought I'd see if I could.
It's a very good idea because otherwise you can just use.
It would have been toast, and then have that card in hand. So
you got full use out of that.
I did. Hey, look at that. And Cavalcade of Calamity is in. I do have 2 1/1s.
Nice.
You Son's Adventure. I'm curious as to why your
wizard in the graveyard.
I'm curious as to why he died at all.
Oh, that's right too. That's right. Okay, so he's alive. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes.
No problem.
For some reason, I was thinking he took the extra damage and it was me. It was my face.
I passed you.
Passed to me. Okay.
Yeah. Mister, I don't need to spend my mana to cast spells. Apparently,
it's a good feeling. Right. So I'm going to play a Tranquil Cove. So enters battlefield tapped. I gain 1 life, and I can tap it for white or blue. So I'm going to go up to 12.
It's life gain, man. Mm-hmm. I'm supposed to get anywhere with this life gain.
And then I'm going to -2 Kasmina. So she's down to 1. So I'm going to create another 2/2 wizard. And I'm going to draw a card. And then I'm going to discard a card. And I'm going to discard this island. And then
you gonna attack me?
I think I am. I am going to swing in with a 2/2 wizard that does not have Summoning Sickness.
So I declare no blocks.
Sounds good.
I drop to 18.
And I have 5 lands, and I don't have to tap them to bring out Kenrith the Returned King. It's a 5/5 human noble, and it's got a whole bunch of abilities. I can pay a red. All creatures gain trample and haste until the end of turn. That's all creatures. Not just mine, but all creatures. Yeah. I can pay 2, put a +1/+, I pay 1 in a green, which is not going to happen in this deck. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. I can pay 2 in a white, target player gains 5 life. I can pay 3 in a blue, target player draws a card. I can pay 4 in a black, which again, not going to happen. But target creature card from a graveyard onto the battlefield under its owner's control.
I'm sorry, 3 mana and you can gain 5 life.
Yeah.
I didn't even think that card was even standard. I thought that was like a legacy or a commander card.
I to be honest with you, I didn't even realize this is in the deck. So, I don't remember.
3 mana, you can gain 5 life. That is just
crazy.
Brutal.
And then, I'm just going to pass the turn to you now.
Okay. I mean, I will have a cool turn, but I think Kenrith is going to just shields up for quite some time here. And even then, it's not going to be that cool of a turn, because I'm basically going to throw some dudes under the bus here. But it'll be cool, because I want to do it. So I'm going to tap all 4.
Okay.
To cast Torbrand.
Oh, yeah.
Thane of Redfell, because you were saying you can't cast spells.
I can't cast spells on my turn.
Okay.
On your turn. On your turn. I can cast spells on my turn, yeah.
So he says that if a source I control would deal damage to an opponent, it deals damage +2. I mean, even then, that's not as cool as I was kind of hoping. So now when I attack with them, that would deal 3 damage.
Yes.
Bing, bing. So right off the bat, you're taking 6 just by attacking. You take another 6. That's 9.
Yeah.
But then you got some pretty easy blocks after that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I only got 12 life, so I mean, that's a lot of damage.
I know. It would look so cool if I could have not had Kenrith, and if I could have drawn another mountain and done something else. So now, basically, though, if I do attack with them, I'm throwing them straight under the bus, because I'm clearly tapped out. But it would still be so cool.
You never know, though.
Well, even a crackback, I'm looking at this point 9. Yeah, you know what? We're just going to do this. Okay, they're both attacking.
Okay.
So we have 3 triggers here, I think, or 3 damage effects. So one 1 is attacking, but first his ability is going to do 1 damage to, which is going to be 3 because of Torbrand.
3, that's right. Okay, so I'm down to 9 right off the bat.
So whenever a creature with power 1 or less attacks, Cavalcade Calamity deals 1 damage to attacking player or Planeswalker. I could toast your Planeswalker, but it's not really doing a heck of a lot to me. I'm going right for the face.
Right for the face. So, I'm down to 8 from that. Okay. Oh, no, I'm down to 7 because I take 2 from 1 of each, right?
You take 3.
That's right.
1, so...
Now, do I take it from this one as well, too, though, right? Is it when one or more?
Whenever a creature with power 1 or less attacks, Cavalcade does that. So I have 2 creatures with 1 or less attacking. So that's 2 triggers.
Okay.
As I understand it.
Yes.
You can, if you want to double
read it. No. So it's 2 triggers.
Yeah.
And then that does additional 2 damage per trigger.
Per trigger.
So I would take an additional 6.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was at...
You started the turn at 11 or 12?
12.
So you took 3.
Took 3 right off the bat, took me down to 9.
Yeah.
So down to 6, so down to 3 right then and there.
Yeah.
Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to block like this.
Okay. See, if I had 1 more mountain, I could have spent to get his ability, but I didn't do that. Okay.
Okay, so then now combat damage is going to go through. This is going to take 3 because of that guy, right?
Torbrand, yeah.
This is going to take...
I have him back to like he's an enchantment, but no, he's up there.
This is going to take 3.
Yeah.
So it's still at 2 health, though.
Okay. So both my dudes will die.
Yeah.
Your 1 wizard keeps going in your bin for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep doing that, but...
Yeah, that's my turn.
Okay.
So it was a pretty cool turn, but now he can just gain all that life
step,
back.
I'm going to tap 3, including 1 white, to gain 5 life. So it's going to put me back up to 8.
So brutal. And I might have just kind of spent my 1/1s there, you know?
Untap.
See, I mean, I could have waited and then kept that one guy around with more abilities to cast his thing and more attack triggers, but nah.
I'm going to play another Interplanar Beacon. Ooh, I'm going to drop some cards. Okay, so now she has no way of gaining loyalty counter. She's at 1, so it is what it is, right?
But her static ability still affects your permanent, so it's not easy for me to burn them out.
Yeah. Now he's a 2/4, correct?
He's a 2/4. And he's a creature, apparently. I keep kind of hold him off to the side.
Now, if he does damage, he's going to do 4 damage because of his own ability, right? Because it's not just other creatures, it's him as well, too. Red sources.
If a red source, I control.
Red source, okay. So, yeah, I'm gonna move to combat, and I'm gonna swing in with both of them actually. So they're both gonna be turned sideways.
You know what? No blocks.
No blocks.
No blocks. So I take 7 down to 11.
Yes. Okay, and then I've got 1, 2, 3. I got 6 land. So for 5, I'm going to cast Time Wipe. Return a creature you control to its owner's hand and then destroy all creatures. Ooh. So I'm going to turn this to my hand. That's my first spell that I cast this turn. I'm going to lose my other wizard. And then for my second spell, I'm going to bring out Kenrith. And then I'm going to...
And you have 6 mana to activate his ability twice.
I'm going to pass the turn to you.
I honestly feel like just like calling this game because there's no way I'm going to keep up with the. Basically, you can gain 10 mana.
Fires of Invention seems stupid.
It seems like you can cast another mountain. Yeah. You can gain 10 damage per turn.
Yeah.
Oh. Well. All right, I'm tap 3 for Chandra, Acolyte of the Flame.
Okay.
So I mean, there's that.
And what does she do?
She is a Planeswalker for 4, 2 red, 1 of anything. For 0, I can put a loyalty counter on each red Planeswalker I control. For 0, I can also create 2 1/1 red elemental creature tokens. They gain haste, sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. See how good they would have been if you couldn't gain 10? Yeah. Like, I'd have this game in the bag at that point.
Yeah.
She has a -2 that I may cast a target instant or sorcery spell with converted mana cost 3 or less from my graveyard. If that card would be exiled, or put in the graveyard, exile anyway. I mean, nothing there is going to do 5 damage, and that really would be nice to be able to get rid of Kenrith. But,
yeah.
So I'm going to 0 her, so she'll remain at 4.
Okay.
To get 2 elementals. Really miss my Torbrand, because this would have been another really awesome combination.
And they're 1/1s?
They're 1/1s.
1/1s, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we will go to combat.
Okay. So going to combat, immediately that triggers, correct?
Yeah.
So twice.
Yep.
So taking 1 damage for each creature, so 2 damage right off the bat.
Yep.
Okay. So that puts me down to 6. I will block with Ken here. And then damage?
I'm not going to do anything else this turn, so I might as well tap these 2 to put my Rimrock Knight on an adventure on this guy just to basically deal 2 more damage to you.
Okay. So I'm going to take 3 from him?
Yeah.
Okay. So then that puts me down to 3.
I'm out of cards in hand. You still have...
Now that gets sacrificed at the end of turn, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
This guy dies in combat, and this one gets sacrificed at the end of turn.
End step, white and 2. I'm going to gain 5. It's going to put me up to 8. White and 2. Gain 5. It's put me up to 13.
I had no idea Kenrith was even legal in Standard. These were standard decks, weren't they?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are standard decks at the time. So okay, so that's my turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let's untap. Draw. You're at 11?
I'm at 11. So many abilities, too.
So, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to send Fae of Wishes on the adventure. So it's going to be granted. So 3 and a blue, which I don't have to spend to cast because of Fire as an Invention. I may choose a non-creature card I own from outside the game, reveal it, put it into your hand, which means my sideboard. So I can choose one from my sideboard, a card from my sideboard.
Normally I'm pretty big on how Mono Red's built, but it just seems like your deck is built, I don't know, pretty good.
I'm going to reveal Mass Manipulation. So it's a sorcery for 4 blue XX. I gain control of X target creatures and or planeswalkers. So this is on an adventure. So that was my first one I cast. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm going to, without tapping any of the mana, I'm going to cast this to gain control of Chandra. So Mass Manipulation. I'm then going to... I can't cast any more cards, so you may... I'm going to create 2 1/1 elemental tokens that gain haste and sacrifice and begin the next step. Okay, so... so I'll activate her ability if I may borrow 2 elemental tokens.
You may. At least you don't have the calamity going on there.
And then I'm going to swing in for 7.
All right, I will drop down to 4.
You know, I too have the adventure token, so I'm going to put Fae of Wishes on the adventure. I'm going to put her back here because she's not really doing anything. Okay, and then end step.
It's hard to, target your stuff.
Return there. So I do get to keep Chandra though, and she doesn't change. Her loyalty doesn't change.
No.
Yeah, I'll just pass turn to you.
You want to gain more life, or you wait to the end step to make it more dramatic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Mountain. At least thanks to these awesome adventure cards, I do have things I can do. So for 2 mana, I can bring my Rimrock Knight off of his adventure for you to steal at a later time. And for 3 mana, I can bring my Bone Crusher Giant off of his adventure for you to steal at a later time. Any more wishes you can grant that you just take the one, non-enchantment that I had? Neither of those guys have haste. I don't think so. When Bone Crusher Giant becomes target of a spell, he deals 2 damage to that spell's controller, and Rimrock Knight can't block. Not that he was gonna. Actually, he probably would at this point, but... pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay. So untap. I don't have to untap land because I never tapped for anything. Not to rub it in, but I'm going to rub it in. I'm going to...
Perfect combo is having Kenrith down and not having to tap your lands.
I'm going to play Interplanar Beacon. And then I'm going to play Deafening Clarion. So normally costs 1 red-white, but it's going to cost me nothing. I can choose one or both. It deals 3 damage to each creature, or creatures you control gain lifelink at the end of turn. So I'm going to do 3 damage to each creature.
Boom.
I'm then going to, just to be on the safe side, I would activate Chandra to create 2 more, and then swing in with everything. And I even realized I didn't even gain life on the end of your turn, and that was a mistake. That wasn't me just being a cocky jerk.
I think cocky was fair enough at that point, because
So, okay.
yeah.
That went differently than I envisioned it.
different than how I was envisioning it for a fair bit there too. Like I foresaw counter spells, bounce spells, but I'm like, I can keep smaller guys down, and even the Planeswalker. But the second you're like, you can cast that for free, and even then I'm like, no, I got this. I just keep putting the pressure on. But when Kenrith came down, I'm like, there's nothing I can do against like basically 10 mana or 10 life gain a turn in a mono red deck.
Yeah, there's 4 of this in the deck, by the way. I was just checking to see if this is a one-off that I'm not going to... But there's a good chance I can actually get this again. This is Fires of Invention. And the thing is, I know I was still playing Magic Arena when this set came out. I think that was just when I stopped playing Magic Arena for a while. I pretty much stopped playing Magic Arena altogether after that. But I never played with Fires of Invention. Because it just seems flat out... The card seems busted. Just flat out busted. Yeah, and this was the only reason why I had a chance in that game. Yeah. Because being able to bring this out without tapping the mana for it so that I could activate his ability, that's the only thing that kept me alive. Otherwise, I would have been dead. Because you had the perfect setup at that one
I had a good start, and I had good support cards going into the, I guess you call it, early mid-game. But yeah, so now I got to find a way to definitely kill Kenrith.
Yeah.
In this deck.
Holy moly.
That dude can't live.
Oh, I also have to take Mass Manipulation out of the main deck because it's back into the sideboard.
You don't have to. You like to have more than 60 cards in a deck.
So we're going to take a look through our sideboards, decide whether we're going to end. We're going to add anything in, and we'll be back with the second game right after this. And we're back in the second game of the best 2 out of 3. Travis, did you mulligan?
I did mulligan. I didn't sideboard.
Okay, I did sideboard.
And
so those cards are showing. So I only took 2 out, 2 in. You guys can see those. And now at this point, you're seeing what our opening hands are. And I did mulligan, so I'm down to 6.
So I found my lack. We've taken a lot longer between matches because I went through my deck, I think 3 separate times, trying to find a card to take out. Everything seems synergistically. There you go.
There we go.
So nice that I could not find a card to say, hey, you're not good enough, because there was nothing in the sideboard that actually had dealt 5 damage directly. Even then, I probably should have gotten a few shocks in there for the surprise factor. But I didn't. I kept the original deck as it is.
And weirdly enough, in my sideboard, if it had been your sideboard, I do have Fry, which is 1 in a red, instant. No. This spell can't be countered, and Fry deals 5 damage to target creature or planeswalker that's white or blue.
Can I see it? No, I'll just leave it out here.
That it's safe to say that if that was in your sideboard, it would have come in, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Wait, so isn't white or blue?
White or blue, yeah.
Oh, well, Kenrith is white, so that wouldn't be any good anyway.
And Planeswalker as well, too. So you could even start, because this has got white and blue Planeswalkers as well, too.
No, but it's deal 5 damage to a creature that isn't white or blue?
No, that is.
Oh, that is.
Deal 5 damage to target creature or Planeswalker that's white or blue.
Like Kenrith.
Yeah. So that would have been the perfect solution.
So he's mono white, although all his abilities are all the colors. He himself, I believe, is just mono white as far as a creature goes.
Yes, but if you were to use him as a commander,
the whole pie.
Yeah, and I actually thought of possibly using him as a commander because I love 5-color commanders. Yeah, I got a sickness, a weakness.
And his abilities, it's just like get a mana base going, and you don't even need spells. You don't need anything else on the board. He just does stuff.
Yeah, and again with this one, if you have that Fires of I forgot what it was called as well too. Fires of Invention or whatever it is. You don't have to tap on your turn, right? So it's great. So I can't cast anything, but I can still do abilities on my turn, on your turn. So Travis,
I get it
because you lost. You do get to go first, which is good for you.
So
especially for the mono red deck.
Play a mountain, and I will tap that mountain for 1 red mana for the Fervent Champion.
Ooh, I remember him.
He's a 1/1 with first strike and haste. Whenever he attacks another target knight, gets +1/+0, and equipment abilities that target him cost 3 less.
Yeah, very nice.
Take that, good sir.
Down to 19. Right off the bat.
Although I think it might be coming back, that adventure mechanic.
My turn?
Your turn.
Okay, so draw.
You're going to play one of those life gain lands, aren't you?
I'm going to sing a little song. I'm going to play a Temple of Epiphany. Enters the battlefield tapped, and when enters the battlefield, I scry 1. I can tap it for blue or red.
Once again, the temples, I feel, should literally be the baseline for a land that enters tapped. Baseline is a scry.
I'm going to put that back on top. Yeah, I'm going to put that back on top. Nothing I can do. I'll pass to you.
Dun, 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 dun. Come on, another land. No, but that's okay, because I have another one in my hand. Plenty more. Don't worry. There's
plenty more where that came from.
So I'm going to go to combat.
Okay.
And I'm going to attack you.
For 1?
Yeah, for 1. Okay.
18, down to 18.
Second main phase, I'll tap 2 to just straight up cast the Rimrock Knight. No adventure for that good sir. For next turn, he's a 3/1. Pass back to you while I read this other card.
Tap, draw. I'm going to play Tranquil Cove. Comes in tap, but I do gain a life. So back to 19. I will pass turn to you.
Untap. Draw. There's that mountain. Had it the whole time. Not that it's a huge thing or anything, but
could be huge.
Yeah, let's tap 3 here for Chandra. So remember her from last time?
Yeah.
She gets to come in at 4, and I'm going to do her 0, which is create the 2 1/1 elementals.
Nice.
This is all resolving.
It's all resolving.
There's one blue there, so we're going to go to combat.
You betcha.
So I do actually control another target knight because the Rimrock is a dwarf knight, so he will become a 4/1. So there's 1, 2, 6, 7.
7, man.
Turn 3.
Nice. So I'm down to 12.
Chandra's ability was 0, so her loyalty doesn't change. We then go to the end of next end step. Combat doesn't matter. Same thing's happening. These dudes are gone, although I kind of like the art on them. They're pretty cool.
Man, I'm taking damage.
And yet you sit so confidently.
It's all an act. It's all an act. Draw. Yeah. Man. I can't keep taking damage. Yeah, I gotta do this. I'm gonna play Mountain. Tap for 3, including a white and a red.
That's a plain old mountain?
And I'm gonna cast Deafening Clarion.
No!
Yeah. So that's gonna at least...
You were gonna lose that
slow down.
You were going to lose the next turn if you didn't do that. Straight up.
See, that's what I was worried about.
Straight up, you were going to lose.
So I had another option, but I thought that was the safest thing to do.
I'm very confident that turn would not have gone well for you.
I'm sure it wouldn't have. I will now pass the turn to you, though.
Okay. Dang it. Oh, so... Like jumping, reaching for the ledge, and your fingers slip instead of just catching the edge. I draw that card. Well, that's a decent card. So I think that's how we're going to go about doing that.
Okay.
We're once again going to 0 Milady Chandra to get our 2 elementals. Then we are going to go to combat.
Okay.
And attack. Before we go to damage, just let me think. Okay, this is crucial. It's critical. It might be. Because I can do 2 things here. But I'm going to choose not to do... I'm not doing anything.
Okay. So I'm taking 2.
Taking 2.
I'm down to 10.
Okay. Second main phase. Since an opponent took damage this turn, we're going to light up that stage.
And what does light up the stage do again?
It exiles the top 2 cards of my library until end of turn. I may play those cards.
That's right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that worked out.
And, So, I will tap 1 to cast Scorch Spitter.
For the Spitter.
That has finished. And, you know what? We will tap 2, and I will once again overcommit to the board by playing the Rimrock Knight.
Nice.
These 2 get sacrificed in the combat.
Mm-hmm.
I pass the turn to you.
Pass to me. Okay.
Overcommitting. That's what I do like about Chandra, though. No matter how much I overcommit, she's at least got my back.
She's got you back, Jack.
I probably should read her other abilities in case, because now I do have... I can actually light up the stage with her -2. Because it would count that as a CMC. So I can do that. If for whatever reason, if I don't want 2 guys, I can light up the stage.
Okay, I'm going to play an island. I have to do it. I'm going to tap for 4, including a red.
Don't do it.
Fire's Invention.
Okay.
And then for the second spell that I can cast this turn, even though I would love to do the adventure of this, I need to get something out on the board. So I'm going to cast Fae of Wishes, the 1/4.
Whoo!
So, that's my turn. I'll pass it to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw. I like that card. So we're going to go to combat. I am going to zero her.
Yeah. Oh, you're going to... Oh, yeah, zero her.
Zero.
Yeah.
They're all zeros.
Yeah.
And then we are going to go to combat.
Okay.
So, first off, there is a trigger from the Scorch Spitter.
Yeah.
So we'll do 1 damage to your
That's going to take me down to 9 right off the bat.
Okay.
Blocks. Can I move to blocks?
Move to blocks.
I have to put the 1/4 in front of the 3/1. I have no choice.
Okay. So I'm going to tap 2 to
Wish you wouldn't.
flash out Embercleave.
Ooh, you hate to see that come down.
Fervent Champion would have won that game right there.
Yeah.
Or come very close to anyway. So it for 6 mana in total, it's a legendary artifact equipment with flash. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature I control, which is 4.
Yeah.
So Embercleave enters the battlefield attached to target creature I control. I'm putting it on the Scorch Spitter since these 2 dudes are going to go away. Although I could put it there, couldn't I? So if I put it on him...
What is its other abilities first before we...
Yeah, when Embercleave... Well, we'll figure out who I'm attaching to later. What it does, though, is give +1/+1 and has double strike and trample.
Yeah,
so
that's why I wanted to bring that up first. So
yeah, it's not just a double strike, which is essentially going to be first strike and have him win, but it will also trample.
Yeah.
So I will put it on the Rimrock Knight.
Okay, so now that's a 4/1 with double strike. So the way the combat damage is going to go is going to go with double strike. It goes first strike damage and then regular damage. So first strike damage is going to go through here. It's a 4/2, I should say, which is enough to kill this on the first strike damage. So now regular damage is going to go through. I'm going to take
4, 5, 6, 7.
7. So I'm down to 2, unless you want to do something before combat.
Sure, it's an instant. Stomp.
Oh,
deals 2 damage to any target.
So that's going to put me down to 0. And that is how I expected the first game to go. Embercleave is not... We talked about this off camera in between games. It's criminal that they only included 1 copy of Embercleave in that deck.
And whichever one. It's another deck too.
Yes, another one as well
copy.
too. It doesn't make any sense. It costs them as much to print an Embercleave as it does Fires of Invention. Having 4 Fires of Invention in this deck is so good in the fact that it's consistency that the hand that I mulliganed before... that you guys didn't see, had 2 of these in the hand, which is great, except I didn't have the mana for it. But you put 4 Embercleaves in that deck, what happened the first game probably ain't gonna happen. So
this is the other thing about the Fervent Champion, because at the time I don't think I had that many attacking creatures, but he even cost 3 less to activate.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you get
that's why you were saying if I hadn't done what I did,
because double strike on that, just.
Yeah, and I weirdly enough, I flooded out. I was worried about not having the mana base for it, but I ended up flooding out in the end there. I was really hoping for something, but even then, I don't think it would have mattered. Embercleave is very difficult.
It's insane.
Having Chandra out first as well, too, is great because you immediately lower its Embercleave's casting cost by 2 each turn because you can just create 2 1/1s for free attacking.
And it's funny, like 6 mana, but the second she has 2 going, plus the one you're going to put it on, although technically you can put it on one of those because it's an enchantment or it's equipment.
Yeah.
So when they die, it hits the battlefield or hits the battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would get attached to them, and when they die, it's still there. It's not like it goes to your bin.
No.
Then it costs 3 to equip after that, which is not insignificant either. Because again, next turn,
unless again you're casting it or you're equiping it onto the knight, in which case it's cheap. So it's now 1/1. Which is great because I love it when these best 2 to 3s go to 3. So we're going to see the 3rd deciding game right now. And we're back with the 3rd and deciding game. Travis.
Yes.
Did you sideboard?
No, not for the last one.
I didn't sideboard either this time. So did you mulligan?
I did not mulligan.
You're seeing our opening hand, so you know I didn't mulligan either. I do get to go first though, which is one of the only reasons why I kept this opening hand.
I see a tap land in the future, and I didn't have to scry.
I'm going to play a Swiftwater Cliffs. Enters tapped, I gain a life. I can tap it for blue or red.
I'm going to take that life.
I know you are probably the very first turn. I'll pass it to you.
Yeah, we'll get a draw. That's always fun. So I will play Mountain, tap the Mountain for the Fervent Champion. We know him. He's a 1/1 first striking hasty dude. So yeah, I'll take that life you gained.
Damn, man. Back down to 20.
And pass back to you.
Okay. I'm going to untap my land, which apparently was tapped for whatever reason. I'm going to play a Wind-Scarred Crag. Enters tapped, gain a life, back up to 21. Ha ha ha! Pass the turn out to you.
Doing wrong. Doing stuff on your turn is nice, but gaining a life is kind of annoying, actually. All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and play that mountain.
Okay.
Tap 2 for the Cavalcade of Calamity. So we saw in the first game, whenever a creature I control with power 1 or less attacks, this enchantment deals 1 damage to the player or planeswalker that creature's attacking. So the word creature, like a creature?
Oh, okay.
No. Go to combat.
Yes.
So attack trigger, ping.
Down to 20. And then damage trigger down to 19.
And that was my 2 mana.
Okay.
Back to you, sir.
Back to me. Tap. I'm going to play the Wind-Scarred Crag. So I'm going to go...
At least this is doing its work now.
I can go up to 20. And then I'm going to pass the turn to you.
Untap. Draw. We will play a Castle Embereth. It's going to enter untapped because I do control a mountain. Yeah, and then we're going to go to combat.
Uh-huh.
What am I doing? I don't want to tap that. Because I couldn't, because I need 4 mana to activate that. Swing with the Fervent Champion.
Paying off of the enchantment right off the bat. Puts me to 19.
No other effects.
Combat damage.
Yep.
Down to 18.
Second main phase. I may regret this. I'm going to tap 3 to just cast Bone Crusher Giant.
Ooh, nice.
No
Nice.
stomping involved. Although, because right now, yeah.
He's not a knight, right? He's not like a knight giant?
He's not a knight. He's just a Bone Crusher Giant. It's a 5/4, or 4/3, pardon me.
Okay.
And he does it the second ability, which is important. Whenever he becomes the target of a spell, just a spell, not an ability, he deals 2 damage to that spell's controller.
Okay.
Pass back to you.
Back to me. Okay, so untap. Draw. Gonna play an island. I'm gonna tap for 4, including 1 red.
Feels like a board wipe.
Fires of Invention.
Oh, even worse. Then the board wipe's in hand.
And then for my second spell, Kasmina.
Oh.
Enigmatic, which is a word I have a horrible time pronouncing, Mentor. So spells your opponent control that opponents cast that target a creature or planeswalker you control cost 2 more to cast. And then I can also -2 to create a 2/2 wizard creature token, draw a card and discard a card. I don't want to read it again because we don't normally do that, but that's what I'm doing. So -2 in her. She's down to 3 loyalty. I'm going to create a wizard. I'm going to draw a card. I don't think you have enchantment removal. So I'm going to discard Fires of Invention.
Mono red. I don't believe there is such a thing. Actually, no. In Commander, there is Chaos Warp.
Yeah.
It is it.
Yeah.
And you can actually flip the same card back over again.
I will then pass the turn to you, sir.
Okay. We're untapping. Draw on. I guess I should untap him too.
You don't have to.
I probably should. I think I'm going to go ahead and actually play the 4th land, yeah.
Okay.
Tap.
Oh, for 4 in that deck? What the? Oh.
To overextend into the board one more time. So Torbran is the 2/4 dwarf noble. Not a knight, though. Interesting.
Yeah.
So if a red source I control would deal damage, it deals that much +2.
Okay.
Quick combat.
Yippers.
Okay, so first thing's going to happen is that's going to trigger
For 3.
For 3 damage.
Puts me down to 15.
Okay.
Blocks, I'm going to chump the way only chumps do. My wizard chump is going to get in front of that big old giant.
Okay.
But I'm still taking 3 from that. So that puts me down to 12. And that kills my wizard dead. So I'm assuming you're doing the damage to me, right?
So Yes, I was.
Yeah, okay.
I might have actually wanted to redirect that earlier, but I shouldn't have. Or this earlier. Whatever, it's not a blocker for you. That won't come back to bite me in the ass. I'll pass to you.
Okay.
Because that did tap me out.
Okay. I'm going to draw. Alrighty. For my first spell, I have 4 land. I'm going to cast Drawn from Dreams. Look at the top 7 cards of your library. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So 7.
It's just from your library, not your other cards you have located around the room somewhere.
3.
Find a commander deck.
4.
Pull a CMC 9 or higher.
6.
Not that I'm bitter.
7. Okay, so I'm going to 100% put this into my hand.
That felt like a board wipe that he just...
And I think I'm going to put this into my hand as well, too. And the rest of these, I'm going to shuffle up because they're going to go on the bottom of my deck in a random order. Wait, did I? Let me just double check. Okay, so there we go. For a second,
the islands.
I could have made a mistake, which would have 100% just ended the game right now. So these all go random order on the bottom. Okay. I'm then going to put this into my graveyard. And I don't know why I keep putting the token into there. I'm going to then, these are in my hand now, play a Windscarred Crag. So I'm going to gain 1 life. So I'm going to put me up to 13. And now 5 land. So then for free, for my second thing, I'm going to cast Time Wipe.
Ugh.
So I don't have a creature to return to my hand, but I can destroy all other creatures though. I'm then going to -2 Kasmina to create a 2/2 and draw a card. And I think I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to discard Bay of Wishes. That's my turn. That's the two things that I can do. As far as spells go, pass turn out to you.
Okay. Untap. Draw. I guess we're going to pay 1 for Scorch Spitter. And then I'm going to pay 2 for Rimrock Knight. No adventure. Just Rimrock Knight.
Okay.
And hope they stick around, because otherwise this is going to be really over real quick. That is my turn.
That's your turn?
That's my turn.
Okay. Untap. Draw. I'm going to play Interplanar Beacon. I'm going to try to say it too. So I have 6 lands.
Which can activate Kenrith's life gain twice, as we've established.
I'm going to... First thing I'm going to cast, Sarkhan, the Masterless. So it's a 5 loyalty, 5 cost planeswalker, 2 red and 3 of whatever. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. And its +1 ability is until the end of turn, each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon creature and gains flying. And then for the -3, I can create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying. Now, the way it works is that if you turn a planeswalker into a creature, summoning sickness effects still apply, which means that if I were to turn Sarkhan into a 4/4 right now, he would have summoning sickness. But Kasmina would not have summoning sickness. She would be able to swing in an attack. But let's table that for now. I've cast a planeswalker. I have... Interplanar Beacon out, so I'm going to gain 1 life from that. So it's going to put me up to 14. For the second spell that I can cast on my turn, I'm going to bring out Narset, Parter of Veils. So for 2 and a blue normally, it's a 5 loyalty uncommon planeswalker. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn. -2 is look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among it, put it into your hand, put the rest in the bottom of your library in a random order. So I'm going to gain a life for that.
Life gain.
15. I'm going to I'm going to move this back down here because it's just an enchantment, but it's
just enchantment.
So I can't. Kasmina can't create anything else because she's too low in loyalty. I'm going to -3 Sarkhan to create a 4/4 red dragon creature token with flying, because I think that's going to be useful. I'm going to activate Narset's ability, -2, so that's going to put her down to 3 loyalty. To look at the top 4 cards in my library.
I think Narset's a card, even though it was uncommon, it kind of became big bucks. Because in Commander, everyone wants to stop everyone else from drawing multiple cards per turn.
I may reveal a non-creature. I have to reveal it. Non-land card from among them and put that into your hand. I'm going to reveal Deafening Clarion.
So again, that's 3 mana to destroy all creatures?
3 mana, no. To creatures I control gain lifelink until the end of turn, or I can choose one or both, actually. I just realized that now, and I made a horrible mistake earlier.
Or both.
Yeah, and also Deafening Clarion did 3 damage to each creature. So that is going to go into my hand, and the rest of these are going to go into my library and the bottom of my library in random order. Okay, and then again, I wanted to remind you of Sarkhan's. Whenever a creature attacks you or a planeswalker you control, each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature. So
right now, it only takes 1 dragon, though.
Yeah. Okay, so that's pretty much everything I can do on my turn.
That was plenty.
I'm not going to swing in with my wizard. I'm just simply going to pass the turn now to you.
One might say you've stabilized.
knock on plastic, because this is not a wood table.
All right. So I can throw that Scorch Spitter under the bus, which is what I have to do.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to combat. That's going to trigger. I am going to deal it to you.
Yes. So you're going to deal 1 damage to me.
3 damage. 2 damage to you.
Two damage, that's right. So that triggers and that triggers. So I'm down to 13. Yeah. And then this triggers, and I'm going to deal 1 damage to
Scorch Spitter.
Each dragon you control deals 1 damage to that creature.
Yeah. I should probably check to make sure. Well, it wouldn't have mattered anyway. They'd both be dead. So now, second main phase, at least I can tap 1 to light up the stage. Okay. Now, this is going to be an interesting wording thing. It says to exile the top 2 cards of my library, so I'm not drawing them.
No.
So that's not going to affect that. So I'm going to exile the top 2 cards, and I may play them this turn.
Yeah. So that is a cheat to get around that.
Yeah. I just feel like I'm cheating right now. Cheat is putting 5 mana costed stuff down without paying it. That to me is a cheat. If you want to get technical.
I don't need to get technical.
Attacking creature I control. So I no longer control, so it doesn't matter anyway. So I will play a mountain out of my hand because we're still in that second main phase. Mm-hmm. Embercleave, I cannot afford it.
Okay.
Because even if that did count, which it didn't, because I'm pretty sure I no longer control it. Pretty sure it's no longer an attacking creature at this point.
Yeah.
So, but I can do him. Mm-hmm. I will spend 2 to Rimrock Knight, which is another 1 toughness creature. That's going to do me a lot of good. And neither of them actually trigger the Cavalcade. I pass to you.
Pass to me. Okay.
I'm at 20 life, though, so don't count me out.
So I'm going to draw.
Actually, you know what? I believe this is exiled.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Because when you exile with light up the stage.
I'm going to start off by -2ing Narset to like the top 4 cards in my library. I'm going to reveal another Deafening Clarion. I'm going to shuffle these up. And put this on top. Now I have to do this in a specific order now, or else it's not going to work the way I need it to work. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to play Plains.
Make your creatures first before you do lifelink.
I'm going to +1 Sarkhan. So until end of turn, each planeswalker you control becomes a 4/4 red dragon creature and gains flying. So Kasmina, Narset, and Sarkhan, none of them came in just this turn. So all of them don't have summoning sickness. I also got a regular 4/4 dragon.
Just a plain old dragon.
For my first non-creature spell, or for first spell this turn, I'm going to cast Deafening Clarion. I'm going to actually activate both abilities.
What?
So the wizard's going to die.
Oh, no.
But all my creatures are also going to gain lifelink. I'm now going to move to combat. And I'm going to swing in for 4,
16.
8, 12, 16.
Drops me down to 4, but more importantly...
Puts me up to 29. And then for my second ability, I'm going to activate the granted aspect of Fae of Wishes to choose a non-creature card from outside the game and put it into my hand. So I'm going to put this on the adventure.
Oh, well, non-creature. Well, that's just, why bother?
And I can look through my deck. Okay, so I'm going to reveal, again, Mass Manipulation. Just in case something hits that's game-changing. I can take it from you. That's my turn.
At sorcery speed, I believe.
Yeah, well, I can't cast anything on your turn anyways, right? So
yeah, fair enough.
I will now pass the turn to you.
What? That was pretty easy. Come on. There's some haste in here. In fact, look out, dude. You're all tapped out. There's a mountain. Tap the mountain. Just put down for the Fervent Champion.
Hey.
Now, if I sequence this just right, I can just do a little extra damage. So we're going to go to combat because he has haste.
Okay.
So at this point...
Taking 2.
Taking 1. No.
Oh, taking 1.
Slow
That's
down,
right.
good
Okay,
sir.
Down to 28.
One last measly trick up my sleeve in which I'll tap these 3. So we've gone past that.
Yes.
So his power being 1 doesn't matter.
No.
If it's suddenly with the power of Castle Embereth.
Okay.
Castle. If his power suddenly became 2, this doesn't
affect it. Plus 1 plus 0. Oh, nice.
Yeah. So he's a 2.
So now damage.
Yeah.
Down to 26.
But that's how I got around that. I stacked that because that doesn't say casted sorcerer or activated sorcery speed. I passed you with your
pass to me.
Soon to be mighty dragon army.
Okay. Untap everything. Draw. I will +1 Sarkin.
You
turn them all into dragons.
Son of a...
And I'm not gonna cast Deafening Clarion as well too, because it's just you've got no cards in hand, correct?
You could steal him and attack, but he doesn't untap. So.
I know I could do a whole bunch of mean dickish things. I'm just gonna swing in with all my army of flying dragons.
Yeah, that's more than enough.
Well, that went, I'm gonna admit, differently than I thought it would. So
we had a slight pause there while we were checking a camera thing. And while Ed was checking the camera thing, I read Tybalt because I was curious about how this deck.
Oh yeah, because this is in your sideboard, you said, right?
Yeah. You know what the first line of Tybalt's Planeswalker card is?
What?
Players, your opponents can't gain life. I wish I'd read the whole card when I was sideboard. I'm like, I need something quick. I need something that deals 5 damage to Kenrith. I'm like, Tybalt, you don't do 5 damage to nothing, good sir. And then later, I'm thinking, I like this Cavalcade of Calamity. Speaking of Calamity, synergy with the 1/1s and Torbrand. I'm like, because nothing gets above power with Torbrand, he just deals more damage. So I'm looking through. Yeah, maybe you could make this into all 1/1s. And then I see the line on the top of Tybalt's card that says your opponents can gain life. And I think there's actually a playset of Tybalt's in here.
Oh, is there?
I think there's definitely more than one.
I mean, hindsight and all that, right? So, I mean, at the very least, it would also make it so that it would give me another target. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? So it could filter, even if I absolutely needed to gain life, I would have to focus a bit on Tybalt.
Yeah.
So,
what's the old saying? Reading the card explains the card. A little true there. If you actually don't just Tybalt, pish posh. I need pure direct damage to take out that Kenrith, good sir.
The cards that I sideboarded in, because we never got to see them, I ended up sideboarding in 2 copies. I thought I did 2 copies of it. If I could find it. Come on, Ed. Where is it? Look for it. Oh, yeah. 2 copies of Revoke Existence, which is sorcery, exile target, artifact, or enchantment. So specifically, I needed what did the most damage to me before.
Because that one attack, we were discussing this too, with the Cavalcade of Calamity and the guys that did 1 damage and then something like Torbrand.
Yeah.
Well, now, of course, again, you're talking about the Magic Land where you have all your things in place, but even attacking with 3 creatures with power of 1 before blocks, that dealt 9 damage at one time.
Yeah, it's it's a 1-2 combination with those 2 cards, and it's absolutely crazy. And I didn't think I was going to get much use out of Omen of the Seas. And I think anytime I got it in my hand, I ended up discarding it anyways. The other good thing with this one is with the Fae of Wishes, with granted aspect of it, there is a lot in my sideboard which goes against your deck. Fry is a good example of deals 2 damage to target. No, that's not a good example. It's a horrible example. What is the one I was thinking of?
That's the worst example you could think of.
Oh, sorry. Devout Decree. exile target creature or planeswalker that's black or red, and I get to scry 1. And that's for 2. So it's cheap enough that a lot of the times, even if I didn't have the extra Fires of Invention sort of power behind it.
Let's go ahead and call it power.
Then I would still be able to sort of like tutor this out and cast it. And because Chandra is no joke in that deck.
No, we're discussing that too. Like the 1/1 attacking strategy, she works so perfectly with that, with Cavalcade of Calamity and Torbrand. Like her 1/1s are usually at 1/1. I'm like, whatever, man. Create 2 1/1s, sacrifice them. That's nothing. But I mean, it goes with Cavalcade of Calamity. It goes with Torbrand. It goes with Embercleave, good sir. It's work. She is for 3 mana, and that's not even ticking her down. No. It's not ticking her up either. You know, it's not get carried away. It's doing nothing. But every turn is these little 1/1s that go with so much other things. Like I mean, because that one turn, it was those 2 1/1s that made Embercleave easy. It wasn't even a tough, am I going to have enough to do this? No. I get 2 1/1 attackers that are going to drop that cost, that Embercleave. Yeah. Embercleave.
Chandra essentially just immediately lowers the cost of Embercleave to flash out by 2. Just, whenever you have it in hand. Again, if you were to play this deck, Travis's mono red deck, you would want 4 Embercleaves. At the very least, 3 in the deck, but even then, just put a 4th one in the sideboard for a rainy day.
And Reed Tybalt. Like, one line top there. I mean, there are only 2 of those copies.
Might be an idea as well, too.
Because you gained 16 life off of some lifelink.
Yeah, it was, I can't remember how much it was. There was so much life gain. It's hard to keep track of. Now, so what this means is that Cavalcade Charge is going to go against Flash of Ferocity. Because I really enjoyed Flash of Ferocity. It seems like the deck I enjoy the most is the one that is always going to lose. And I really enjoyed Flash of Ferocity. I enjoyed this one.
I actually, like I was saying, it doesn't completely change mono red, but it's a slightly different way of these more 1/1s kind of thing, and yet they synergize. That it was neat. It wasn't just. It seemed like there was less emphasis on burn this time, which is not exactly a bad thing, but just something a little different.
2018, 2019 were both just basically just turn the card sideways, and then in between just burn. But this has more to it, and I think it's a more interesting play. Is it as effective? Who knows? Because that second game was effective, sort of thing. So this one, once you get to 4, and also too, without Fires of Invention,
and sometimes it is just a matchup too. You can't say, well, the deck didn't perform great. Well, sometimes things don't perform, and again, these are decks that are meant to be powerful. So
so the Battle of Champions for 2020 Challenger deck will be Final Adventure versus the Allied Fires. So again, it's interesting that it works out that the deck that you piloted in the first match is going to be going against the deck I piloted in the second match. So we're not even going to have to sort of like swap up and learn new decks for either of those matches. Yeah. And then once we determine this, we are going to have the winners of the 2021 Battle of the 2020, and then we're going to have a final Battle of Champions. This is all sort of in the future. The Mana Cave probably, I think at this point, is being released every second Friday. For those of you who've been waiting for the zombie gameplay, I apologize because that's taking me forever to edit, and I do apologize for that. I also wanted to do sort of a how to play thing at the beginning of it, and that's sort of holding me back because I haven't been able to produce that the way I wanted to produce it. But that is definitely coming out. But these are going to be coming out probably we'll finish this sometime in January. Now that we're recording this, it's November 30th that we're recording this. It's probably getting released mid-December, this match. I'm not sure.
Merry holidays.
Yes, so Merry Christmas if it's around that time. And if not, Happy New Year or Easter or Valentine's Day, depending on when this gets out there. Travis?
Yes, sir.
I think we're running a tape, so is there anything you want to say?
No.
Take care, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you all in the next video.